Biff, we have Sarah Wood from the Moundsville Arts and Culture Commission coming up next. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Online at socialsecurity.gov.
As the world gets back on track, now's the time to look forward and make bold, life-changing decisions. If you're ready to complete your college degree or pursue your master's like an MBA, Ohio Doing your degree at ODU also fits your life. Classes are forming now. Get started at ohiodominican.edu. That's ohiodominican.edu.
This is Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Scott Damaro.
This past year was incredibly hard on teachers, education support professionals, and students alike. But instead of focusing on tedious academic drills to make up for lost ground, everyone needs to reset and focus on the social and emotional growth opportunities that come with a normal summer break. Get out and enjoy a true summer of fun.
Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster. With a look at your local weather forecast for your Thursday. Partly sunny skies with a chance of a shower or thunderstorm. An afternoon high of 93. Showers and storms likely through the evening. Overnight, a low near 71. Clouds and sunshine mixing for your Friday with highs in the upper 80s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
Time to get up and start our day.
You don't want to be late.
I believe my record for attendance and punctuality stands alone.
Friends and fellow workers.
Man, it's a great day upon us. This'll be a good day. This'll be a good day.
Turn on the radio.
I'll turn on the radio.
It's my favorite show. It's my favorite show ever.
When is our show on?
It's happening right now.
It's showtime.
Informing and entertaining the Valley for over 25 years. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe in the 100 Days of Summer.
Well, the temperature rising a little bit. We're at 77 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport, 76 here at my home studios in the Elm Grove section of Wheeling, 76 at the Robinson Auto Group Studios downtown Wheeling. In the heart of the Ohio Valley. It was really nice, bright and sunny earlier. It's still sunny, but just some clouds are starting to roll across the sky today. Listen, folks, it's going to be a very hot day today. We are looking for high heat. We have a heat advisory that will be in effect all the way until 8 o'clock this evening. Heat advisory means our temperatures are going to go up to the mid-90s, low 90s, as Zach is saying 92. We're going to be in the 90s. And our feels like temperature could be triple digit, could be 100 or more. It's going to be a scorcher. So be prepared. Think about that. You know, don't go out and go on a long, hot jog if you don't have to. Stay indoors when you can. Enjoy the air conditioning. Make sure you stay hydrated. You know, watch out for seniors. All those kind of things that we often remind you of. It's going to be a very, very hot day today. With, again, temperatures will feel like they'll be in the triple-digit range. And then coming up this afternoon, look for some scattered showers and thunderstorms into the afternoon, and they could be pretty tense, as we have seen already throughout this week. It seems like every time we have storms, they're doozies, power outages everywhere, and so on. So just be aware of all of that. It is 9:12 in the morning here on the Watchdog Morning Show. Back to our last caller before the break, before I get to my next guest. Steve and I certainly had some heated debate there. No, I'm not going to hang up on him. I got a couple of texts coming in. Hang up on that guy. No, I'm not going to hang up on him. Somebody else says, sorry, Steve is a hater. The mask is to help those who can't get the shots and are still protected, and it's not to be another stress point on the hospital staff and resources. You will always have people who will not do what I think they should, and maybe they should. But if a tiny piece of fabric can protect someone afraid of going out because they can't get a shot or won't get a shot, then so be it. From now on, when I'm in a crowded public place, I will wear a mask, says this texter, Betty, who texted me this morning. So Steve said he's vaccinated and he doesn't care about the people who aren't vaccinated. Why should he wear a mask? Because it's their problem. And a lot of folks feel that way. I don't. And I'm sorry. I care about other people. Yes, I'm vaccinated. Yes, I don't really worry too much about me. Now, I can still get COVID because I'm vaccinated. It will be less intense if I were to get it, and to the point that many people who get COVID after a vaccination barely know they have it. But you can still get it. But I don't really worry about myself. But I do think we have to be concerned about those who choose not to get it. And we can't just say to hell with them, let them die. I mean, we just can't say that. I'm sorry. I have a human compassion for other people. And Steve, bless his heart, apparently doesn't think that that's a good attitude for me to have. I just think it's it's, again, he said, well, don't go all religious on me. I think it's the Christian attitude to have. You have to be concerned for other people. I am concerned for other people. And I'm concerned for kids. There are two aspects here. I'm also concerned for kids. Keep in mind that 12 and under cannot be vaccinated. Therefore, they are even more susceptible. And then I guess maybe the third point I would make is we're back to something we talked about. First of all, get the vaccination. That's the key thing. We'll get enough people doing it and we're okay. Everything goes away. But more importantly, or as importantly, if we're starting to talk again about mask mandates, it's just a piece of cloth on your face, for God's sake. No, I don't want to go back to that. But it's not like we're asking you to walk on stilts. Anyways, I'm sorry. I got a bit energized with Steve there. And some of you did too when you were texting me at 304-214-1600, 304-214-1600, the Watchdog Radio Network text line. Let's talk about fun stuff instead. And talk about some things going on down in Moundsville. I have been noting of late that it seems like Moundsville is really re-energizing itself in a lot of different ways. A lot more activities are getting back on the books or being added to the books. I wanted to talk about that a bit. So Sarah Wood is with us, Councilwoman and the Chair of the Arts and Culture Commission in Moundsville. Sarah, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Howard. Thank you for having me on today.
I'm glad to have you on here. It certainly seems to me that whether it's through the Arts and Culture Commission or other activities as well, Moundsville has really kind of been getting back in the swing of things, hasn't it?
We have an energy right now in Moundsville. We have a lot of positive people on board that are willing to put their time and energy into improving the city, whether it be through the Arts and Culture Commission with our Jefferson Fridays, movie nights, public art, and all of the events we do, or whether it be on council with our city departments and our city manager with the splash pad that's up and coming at Four Seasons Pool, all of our park renovations, the new city public safety building we're talking about. So we have a lot of excitement and energy in the town right now, and I'm really happy to be a part of it.
What's it all about? Why you've been around for a while? You've followed city politics and city activity. It just seems to me I'm seeing more energy now than I've seen in a long time. Why is that?
I think we have a cohesive council unit right now. I think all of us, most of the time, are on the same page about wanting to move the city forward and what that looks like. We have a really great city manager who has been with us for a couple of years now. We all work really well together. If we have disagreements, we're able to talk to one another, work them out. If we can't come to a cohesive answer, we're able to move forward the next day and say, we agree to disagree and still be on the same page about what we want for the community and the city. So I just think, like I said, it's all about the people that we have working with us right now, and there's just a lot of positive energy. I think when the citizens see you investing in things like parks, investing in things like events, they are excited and they're willing to volunteer their time and get on board. So it's a good situation we have right now in the community.
It's a really good point you make. When the public, put that in air quotes, whatever that means, when the public sees movement from governmental entities like city council and the city itself, they feel when they see energy coming from there and cohesive energy, then people are more likely to want to get involved, to be energized, and so on. And I would assume you see more people probably volunteering to help these days.
Absolutely. We have people that are really interested in helping with all of the arts and culture events and different things that are happening through the city. So, like you said, when they see that investment on our end, they want to prioritize that and be involved in this upward movement of the city also.
You've got Jefferson Fridays coming up, cleverly enough tomorrow because it's Friday.
Yeah.
It's kind of just a great big block party, right?
It is, and I was really happy to listen to Darnell's weather forecast. He did not mention any rain for tomorrow night, just sunshine and some clouds. So we are very excited about Jefferson Fridays. Our Arts and Culture Commission was formed in 2019, so we're still relatively new. And we started out with a community survey to understand what the community wanted to see happen. And we received a lot of input, and several things that they hinted on was they wanted to see music, they wanted to see festivals, and they wanted to see family events. So since our creation, we've been trying to do that. We've had family events from pumpkin painting to Christmas events to movie events, drive-in and outside. We had to modify a lot of things during COVID to still offer programming, but in a safe way. So one of the music events that we have is our Jefferson Fridays, and it is a huge community block party. The first one is tomorrow. We shut down Jefferson Avenue from 2nd to 3rd Street. Many of the shops stay open late. We have a beer garden, multiple food trucks. We have Zane Run performing from 7 to 10. The first time we did this in 2019, Moundsville hadn't had something like this before. And we were talking as a commission, we said, we can have these sort of events that Wheeling has, that different places have. We just need a group of people that are willing to put it on. And our group wanted to take that on and make this happen. So we're hoping that we have a larger crowd than we had in 2019. About 800 came to that. We're expecting a larger crowd tomorrow. We're really looking forward to it. It brings Jefferson Avenue alive, brings people into the community, not only provides our citizens something to do, but it's an economic driver type of event. When we have people coming to Jefferson Fridays, they're stopping at our gas stations to fill up. They're eating food from inside city limits. There may be shopping at some of the stores on Jefferson Avenue. So it's bringing in that type of tourism and economic movement that we want to see out of our events as well.
It's a good point, and I think people all up and down the Ohio Valley are always looking for something to do, someplace to go, someplace to have maybe, to eat a little bit and to have some music and be entertained and to mingle. It doesn't just have to be Moundsville or Marshall County folks. I suspect you see a lot of folks will come from Wheeling, maybe come up from the south, from New Martinsville and so on, just to be there for something fun to do on a Friday.
Yes, we have actually been taking some data at some of our events to understand where people are coming from. And just for one of our drive-in movie nights, I went to each vehicle and I asked them, how many people are in your car and where are you coming from? We had people as far as Sistersville, Middleburn, Zanesville, Woodfield, Barnesville, all of our surrounding communities. So it was nice to see that people are even driving a little distance to come to our community for these events as well.
The Jefferson Fridays will be a monthly event? Is that the way you're looking at it?
Yes. So we are doing this Friday, September 17th, which will be Eli Lambie and the Mojo Kings, and October 8th, which will be Jukebox. They are a band out of Pittsburgh that we're excited to bring in.
So you got at least 3 of these planned during the fall season. That's really neat. And food trucks, it seems, if I remember correctly, Moundsville was one of the first towns a couple of years ago to kind of realize that food trucks were about to blossom here in the Ohio Valley. And, food trucks have now become a big staple of a lot of events. If I remember correctly, I think Moundsville kind of had a vision of that early on. So it'd be nice to see the food trucks there too.
Yes, we're excited for food trucks. We do support food trucks. We have Mason-Dixon Barbecue, Holy Roller Donuts, Rusty Bull Taco coming. We also have Nana's Pizza on Jefferson Avenue. That is a stable location there. They'll be offering slices and their full menu. We have Bob's Lunch, which is a local favorite, that is going to be setting up on Jefferson and bringing macaroni salad, sweet sausage, and hot dogs to sell. We want to make sure that we're focusing on food trucks and then our local establishments that are there with us every day also.
And I haven't been to Bob's Lunch really since the pandemic began. Of course, I was locked up for a year, and I missed some of my old food haunts. I got to get back down to Bob's Lunch. That's always been one of my favorite places to go for lunch. Need to make a point of getting
love
back
the
there again.
breakfast at Bob's Lunch.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Yeah, and breakfast. I get in there, and sometimes I'm not sure. So when nothing else hits me just quite right, I'll just have a breakfast, please. I guess. But I love Bob's Lunch. Yeah. What other kinds of things? Jefferson Fridays we're talking about here, but what other kinds of events have you had, or will you be having, or are you thinking about having?
I'll hit on some of the events that we have coming up. Right now, we are accepting submissions. We're creating an Appalachian Heritage Cookbook. So much of our interactions in West Virginia, in the Appalachian region, focus around food. We have a strong history with food. You have memories around food growing up of what you ate with your grandparents, with your family, with your friends. So we are asking the community to submit recipes that mean something to them, that were passed down through generations in their family, that are a family favorite. Those can be handwritten recipes. If you have something from grandma that's on old paper that looks really neat, we would love to see a picture of that. Or if you just want to type it out to us, we'll take that as well. If you want to share why that means something to you and your family, we would like to hear that and be able to share those stories. So we're going to be putting together an Appalachian Heritage Cookbook that showcases the food that means something to our area. We're hoping that this will grow into a variety of other events. We would like to have a farm-to-table dinner that would feature some of these recipes that were in the cookbook. And then down the road, be able to have an Appalachian-style festival that would be able to focus on all things Appalachia and our culture. So we are accepting submissions of that currently. They have until August 15th to submit. So they can submit to our email at artsandculture@cityofmoundsville.com, or you can mail the recipe to the Moundsville City Building at 800 6th Street, Moundsville, West Virginia. So we're hoping we get a few more recipes to include in that.
That sounds like fun. I like the idea of taking the cookbook and then sort of spinning off of that into some kind of little Appalachian festival or Appalachian evening or something. I like that idea.
Thank you. Yeah, we're really excited about that. And Howard, if you cook, I don't know if you do, if you have any recipes that you'd like to submit, we would love to have one.
I may have recipes, I just don't cook them.
Well, if you have anything to share.
All right. Well, I'll give some thought. I'll check with my wife. My wife has, she has a lot of these, and we have a lot of the old recipes that my mom and my aunt and other folks who are no longer with us had written down. So there's always, my wife's got one of these little boxes. I'm sure everybody has one. You probably have one, Sarah. Just a little recipe box just stuffed with little scraps of paper that, she's picked up from people over the years and stuffed them in the box. And also then I will point out she can never find what she needs when she wants it.
I think that's everyone. Yeah, we all have that problem.
Honey, I would like such and such for dinner. What about this? Or the kids will say, do you remember when Grandma used to make such and such? Can you do that, Mom? Yes, I can. I've got the recipe. And then I see her in there rummaging and muttering to herself because she can't find it. But she always does. So I like that idea. Sarah, in addition to some of the activities that we've talked about, Jefferson Fridays and the cookbook, the splash pad is coming to the Four Seasons pool, which is kind of neat. There's kind of been some economic development activity happening in the city of Moundsville as well of late.
Yes. The splash pad will be opening up in a few weeks, so we are really excited about that. This year, we were able to put more money into paving than we ever have as a city, which is great. We've been focusing on taking care of some of the dilapidated properties in the area. We just received a matching grant to be able to demolish some of those dilapidated properties, which we know can be dangerous. Those bring rodents and children could get hurt if they're entering the dilapidated property. It brings property values down. So it is great to be able to take care of some of those. Of course, all communities received American Rescue Act dollars, which we've been having some workshops to brainstorm on ways to spend those. At this point, we are taking a step back. We want to be really intentional about how we spend those American Rescue dollars. The way that communities utilize those could really impact the future of West Virginia, not just the next couple of years, but the future of our state. So I think that cities need to be really thoughtful in how they're spending those. There's also some other money with, the infrastructure bill and things that could be coming down the pipeline. So we want a clear picture of everything that we're going to be receiving before we start allocating those dollars so we can use it the best that we can and be good fiscal stewards for that.
That is super wise. We're in a transformational time in the country, certainly in the state and in our individual communities, because of the large amount of money coming from these federal incentive, programs. It's transformational. We could make huge changes in the way our state operates, our counties and cities, But it's got to be done wisely. We've got to stop, think. My fear is that we're going to start just spending money willy-nilly because we've got it. And
Absolutely.
It requires an intentional plan, and it requires a lot of thought, a lot of talk, a lot of planning, even some research, because it is transformational money. It could change Moundsville. It could change the state of West Virginia if you do it right.
I absolutely agree. And another thing that's been really good economically for the city is we have the 1% sales tax in place. So we have placed that into arts and culture, into paving, into our parks and rec, into our police department, our fire department, to be able to spend some money on things that we wouldn't have been able to in the past. We were able to provide our police and fire not only with the budget items that they requested, but their wish list items as well, to be able to make sure that we have a fire and a police department that have what they need to do their job. And again, arts and culture, that is where we receive our funding. We get 1% of the municipal sales tax. So we are able to keep our events either completely free of charge. If we ever do have to have a cost, it would be minimal. We do not want to create any barrier to any family or child being able to access our events. We want to make arts and events accessible to everyone. So we have made that a priority, and we're able to do that through the 1% sales tax. And again, the sponsorships of other businesses for our events as well. We have had some sponsors excited about what's happening. We have Burgess and Kneippel. They are a gold sponsor for Jefferson Fridays. Sleep In and Sweeps Moundsville is a silver sponsor, and then we've had some in-kind donations from Ohio Valley Awards, the Moundsville Volunteer Fire Department, and the Marshall County Co-op. So we appreciate all of those community partners.
And just throw a personal comment in here. You've got a really good city manager in there right now, which I think really is helpful to the city.
I am a big Rick Healy fan, and I say that anytime I have the opportunity. We work really well together. He is a go-getter. He is accessible to council at all times, even when I tell him he shouldn't be. 5 in the morning, 10 o'clock at night. He has a lot of good ideas. He is thorough. He is a good representative of the city in everything that he does, and he is a phenomenal city manager.
Yeah, I would agree. I completely agree. Hey, Sarah, I appreciate your time this morning. Let's keep in touch more often so we can talk about more things going on down there. If something happening, be sure and let me know about it, or I'll reach out and give you a call, because we need to keep talking about these things. Very exciting times down in Moundsville and in our entire Ohio Valley. I want to keep people aware of all of this sort of stuff.
Well, thank you very much for having me on, and I would love to come on again and be able to update all of your listeners about what's happening in Moundsville.
All right, we will definitely do it. Thanks very much for joining me today. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, you too, Sarah Wood, Moundsville Councilwoman and Chair of the Arts and Culture Commission. And they're doing a lot of good stuff down there, a lot of good stuff. Jefferson Friday tomorrow. Zane Run will be performing, food trucks, beer garden, fun time. There's so much going on in the Ohio Valley. You know, we talk about Wheeling so often, but really up and down the river and on both sides of the river, there's stuff going on all the time.
Well, and again, it goes back to, I'm sitting right here, and I've got that summer event guide that tells you everything that's going on, and the different cities and places that they have on here. Looks like about a dozen maybe on here of stuff that they have going on. So,
right.
I mean, you can't say there's nothing going on when I'm sitting right here holding a guide that tells you what's going on in the different cities. So there is stuff to do.
Absolutely. And again, we talk a lot about Wheeling because it's right outside our door, but it's up and down the area. And I really have noticed, and that's why I want to get Sarah in here, I really have noticed a lot more energy coming out of Moundsville than has been there for a long time. Again, I think she's probably right. They've got a council that tends to work together. Let's be brutally honest. Moundsville Council has over the years, as Wheeling Council once upon a time did, Moundsville Council has been sometimes an antagonistic council, infighting, name-calling kind of stuff has occurred. They seem to get along better. They work better together. And again, I think they've got a great city manager. I think Rick Healy does a tremendous job down there. So always happy to promote what's going on in Moundsville. Well, 9:34, 26 till the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show. Is it still 75? Let me double check my temperature here real fast. 77. I said it like that because it reminds me of the jingle for WABC. 77. Nobody would. There's nobody out there who understands that. 77 WABC.
You were just looking for a reason to sing, weren't you?
I was.
Yeah, that's it. That's
I've
it.
been singing all morning, so that was my singing. It's an old. If you're an old-time radio guy, you remember the old 77 WABC jingles. 77 degrees, Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. Little bit cooler here, 76 in my home studios and at the Robinson Auto Group Studios downtown Wheeling in the heart of the Ohio Valley. I guess I'll call it partly cloudy. It was really sunny and nice earlier. It's not cloudy, but the clouds are sort of more known right now than they were before.
My computer explains it as broken clouds.
Ah, okay. Well, somebody should fix them.
Yeah, somebody should. Not going to be me. Maybe the roofers could go up and fix the clouds while they're up there.
Jesus, we got to call Zach. Zach, there's broken clouds up there. We got to get them fixed. Dr. Dave's been away for a couple of days. Maybe Dr. Dave is fixing them. I don't know. Broken. Actually, that's actually a good phrase to use. Broken clouds. It was nice and sunny earlier, and I still see sun outside, but the clouds are a little bit more prevalent. Could see some scattered showers, and they could be intense later in the day. Again, a reminder, high heat advisory today. We are expected to get up to around 92 or so for our actual temperature, and it is conceivable with the humidity and so on. We could feel like it's 100 or more. Be prepared for that. Be prepared for some headlines from Metro News right now. Billy D's got the morning sports for us, and I have some entertainment news I want to get to as we head into the home stretch. We got Jeopardy. We got Ross and Rachel to talk about from Friends, and more coming up on the Watchdog Morning Show.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Fifth, let's do celebrity gossip. Okay, I'm going to listen to it here. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. And let's get this lit. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm going to do entertainment, so that's a good idea. Thank you.
Jennifer Hudson's debut as Aretha Franklin in the film Respect. Many know that Hudson was Franklin's handpicked choice to play her in the movie. Hudson says that's a lot of pressure.
Like, it's exciting, but it gives me anxiety at the same time. Like, oh God, what did I do? What's happening? Will she be happy? I don't know. It's a lot of emotions, but I guess because
Okay, we can use the entertainment update too. So we use gossip and entertainment. And then, just in case we have to fill, you might grab late night comedy, Biff. Okay. That's just in case I have to fill. Okay, sounds good. So we'll use celebrity gossip and we'll use entertainment. And I have a few odds and ends here, and hopefully that'll get us through till somebody calls from someplace. That's kind of my guess. Hey, Teddy. Teddy?
What?
Oh, Robin. Here, I got your Robin suit on. I do want a hug, buddy.
I'm gonna eat.
What are you going to eat, hon?
Pancakes and go with me.
Okay, you got your Robin suit on it already. I'm glad Robin is here. Yeah, that's exactly what he's having. That's Teddy. And he's got his Robin suit on. His mom bought him a Robin suit yesterday. So he wears it around the house with his mask and his cape and his Robin suit.
Menards.com, you're sure to find the right door for your home. All ideal garage doors are 11% off. Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Good through August 14th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
The celebration begins Friday, August 13th at Wheeling's Heritage Port with live music. Celebrate 20 years of the Heritage Music Blues Fest. This year's Blues Fest features blues superstars Ronnie Earl and the Broadcasters, 2021 Traditional Blues Grammy winner Bobby Rush, the rock and blues of Indigenous and Anna Popovich, and up-and-coming blues superstars Davey Knowles and Hannah Wickland, and many more. Heritage Music Blues Fest, Friday, August 13th through Sunday, August 15th. Tickets and info at heritagemusicfest.com.
New Belgium Fat Tire Amber Ale is now available in West Virginia and distributed locally by wine and beverage merchants. With its toasty and biscuit-like malt flavors blended perfectly with hoppy freshness, it's bound to become one of your new favorite craft beers. Fat Tire Amber Ale is now available at local retailers. Please don't drink and drive and drink responsibly. From your friends at wine and beverage merchants.
Does your dog need groomed or walked? Are you looking for a pet sitter or dog boarding options? If so, call Dirty Paws, Wheeling's newest pet care service, providing the Ohio Valley with everyone's pet care needs. Check us out on Facebook at Dirty Paws WHG or call 304-639-7754.
If you missed us the first time, keep going. You'll find us just down the dial. AM 1600 and 1370, FM 98.1 and 97.7. We are the Watchdog.
As county school systems in West Virginia return to the classrooms, athletes will be returning to the field. And once again, Metro News will be there to keep you informed. Fred Persinger, Dave Jecklin, and Joe Bricato are geared up and ready for another exciting season of the High School Sports Line. Get the latest scores and news along with player and coach interviews. Wednesday nights at 7:06. The High School Sports Line starts August 25th on this Metro News station and online at wvmetronews.com.
You can vote in our Watchdog poll and read commentary in our blogs on watchdognetwork.com. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
Well, let's check some entertainment news for you here. Got some gossip, some news to pass along to you, and so on. It looks like we now know who the new Jeopardy host is going to be after Alex Trebek's passing away. They've gone through, I don't know how many guest hosts they've tried, maybe a dozen. They've gone through them, and they have finally come to the conclusion that the second one they tried is the guy they're going to use. The current executive producer of Jeopardy, Mike Richards, will now become the permanent host of Jeopardy. I still think Ken Jennings would have been better. That's just me.
Yeah.
But Mike Richards he is the executive producer of the show. And I got thinking that if he's the executive producer, did he pick himself? I mean, I don't know. He's the executive producer. Does he want to get to pick? I don't know. Anyways, but he was pretty good. He was not as good as Ken Jennings, but he was pretty good. So he's going to be the new host of Jeopardy. And the story in front of me doesn't tell me when he will actually take over. He will continue to be the executive producer of Jeopardy and also executive producer of Wheel of Fortune. When he was on shortly after Trebek's death as a guest host, there was some nasty stuff that was going around saying that he mistreated workers when he was at The Price is Right back in the early 2000s. He denied all the allegations. There was claim of discrimination and some sexual activity and so on, but he denies that. And hopefully that's not going to follow him here. Let's just move on. Jeopardy says Mike Richards, the EP, will be the official new host. But, and this is what confuses me, it's kind of like they're hedging their bets a little bit. Kind of like when NBC replaced Johnny Carson with Jay Leno, but gave Letterman a little boost up as well, or Conan a little boost up as well. Because they also have hired Mayim Bialik of Big Bang Theory, but she was also one of the guest hosts, and I thought she was pretty good. She is a neurobiologist or something in her real life. She's very smart, let's put it that way. So she's going to be, I don't quite understand this. She's going to be hosting spin-off shows. She'll be hosting the Jeopardy National Challenge and some spin-off shows, and I guess she's going to be doing some other programs that will be tied to that. It almost sounds to me like they're hedging their bet, but we'll see. So 2 people announced: the official host, Mike Richards, the executive producer, and Mayim Bialik will be doing some other stuff as well. Now, gossip time. Gossip time. Probably the single biggest storyline in the old Friends TV show, Biff, was Ross and Rachel. They were together, they were apart. He loved her in high school and she never paid attention to him. They got together, they were apart. She almost left him at the very end of the series, but she came back and said, it was you all along. And they ended up getting together. And then when they had this Friends reunion show recently, in a little sit-down conversation interview they had, David Schwimmer said, he played Ross, said that in the first season he had a big crush on Jennifer Aniston, who played Rachel. And she said, yeah, I was crushing on you too. They claimed that they never did anything about it. They just but they had a crush on each other. That was the phrase they used, but never crossed the boundary. Now, one of my favorite little clips from that reunion show, when they said we never crossed the boundary, Matt Blanc, who played Joey, went, bullcrap. Meaning they must have passed the boundary. But anyway, the story today is that after the reunion, Ross and Rachel, David Schwimmer and Jennifer Aniston, began to get together again. He flew out to her house in California. She's cooking dinner for him. They've been going out on dates. And is it possible that Ross and Rachel in real life are getting back together again? This was a big story making the day yesterday. Till the end of the day when David Schwimmer said, no. No, nothing like that. We're not together, not going to get together. Yeah, this is all just made up stuff. But it was fun for a couple of hours thinking that Ross and Rachel would get together. So that's the gossip that I wanted to share with you. Here's a bit more of salacious celebrity gossip for the day today.
It's your salacious celebrity scoop. Lauren Moraski dishes out this week's tabloid news.
The tabloids are out, and here's what you need to know. The tabloids love to drum up marriage trouble. This week, it's Women's Day, claiming that Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broderick were caught arguing on the beach and are about to split up. In reality, though, the couple, who have been married since 1997, are still going strong. Meanwhile, Us Weekly says Meghan Markle and Duchess Kate are actually getting along really well and have been in touch more often despite coming off a rocky year. Apparently, they're doing it for the sake of family. Well, we hope this is true. The National Enquirer claims that Ryan Seacrest is eyeing Selena Gomez and wants to date her, but an insider says she's just not that interested. And yes, he recently posted a happy birthday message to Selena, but that's where it begins and ends. And finally, Life and Style reports that Whoopi Goldberg is threatening to quit The View if the show brings in controversial commentator Candace Owens. No confirmation here, but it's no surprise that the View host situation is again in flux. That's your salacious celebrity scoop. We'll catch you next week after we dig through the tabloid trash.
You know, it's amazing the things they turn into gossip. All right. So Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broderick were seen fighting on the beach. They must be getting divorced. I got to tell you, I don't think there's ever been a time my wife and I haven't been at the beach when we haven't fought about something, you know. It's time to come in. No, I want to stay out on the beach a little longer. I want chicken salad for lunch while I'm making you ham. I mean, if fighting with each other is cause for gossip saying you're going to get divorced, my wife and I would have been divorced like 10 times every time we're at the beach. It's just, some of that stuff is just absolutely ridiculous. 9:50, 10 till the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show. One more little entertainment tidbit I thought I would share with you, and that is a big movie is about to be released. This sounds like a pretty good one to me. Our ABC entertainment team is taking a look at it.
ABC Entertainment News.
We're just hours away from Jennifer Hudson's debut as Aretha Franklin in the film Respect. Many know that Hudson was Franklin's handpicked choice to play her in the movie, and Hudson says that's a lot of pressure.
Like, it's exciting, but it gives me anxiety at the same time. Like, oh God, what did I do? What's happening? Will she be happy? I don't know. It's a lot of emotions, but I guess because it's personal to me, you know?
Respect premieres this weekend, only in theaters. Tonight, it's the season premiere of the final season of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, the cop comedy that started on Fox and will end on NBC. We'll get 2 episodes a week. 30 years ago today, The Sandman entered Metallica's self-titled 5th studio album known as the Black Album. Hit shelves, becoming one of the biggest metal albums of all time. Happy birthday to actress Yvette Nicole Brown. The Community star is 50 today. Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Hollywood.
And that's our entertainment report here this morning on the Watchdog Morning Show. 9 before the hour. Check in with their friends in the Big 7 coming up in a couple of minutes, see what they're working on. In the meantime, why don't we have a little bit of laugh here? One final light-hearted tidbit for you. Some celebrity, not celebrity, but late-night comedy from last night. Let's see, who do we have here today? I think it's Jimmy Fallon, Seth Meyers, just a couple of things of their monologues from last night. Late night last night, like this.
It's the first ever cruise ship with a roller coaster just set sail from Florida. A roller coaster. Really? You're already taking a cruise from Florida during a pandemic. How much more danger do you need? Southwest, American, and Delta Airlines will not require employees to be vaccinated. It's not a twist. Frontier is now the classy airline.
Pepsi announced a new partnership with the brewers of Sam Adams beer to create an alcoholic version of Mountain Dew. And if that sounds good to you, don't worry about what's in the vaccine.
That's a good point. That's actually a good point. Do I have time for one more clip, Biffy?
Yeah, we have time.
It's the very next one in the list there off of Wise Brother. It has to do with this story that Fallon was talking about. The Carnival Cruise Lines are going to set sail with a brand new ship. It has a big roller coaster on it. It's called the Bolt. It hovers over one of the tallest decks, and it gives you a sense of being, up in space and so on. What's amazing to me is they're charging you $15 to ride it. You would think you'd think it would be free, or at least you'd get like one free ticket or something, just for, being on the cruise to begin with.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard the cruise ship
exciting end. Come aboard. We're expecting you. If you don't
Well, I've been thinking about taking another cruise, but maybe not now. I don't. I don't want to go on the puke boat.
At least not that one.
What's that?
At least
not
don't go
one.
on that one.
Yeah, no. That's not it. But I'm thinking of all the different cruise ships I've been on, and they all have different kinds of rides. There's one I was on, and it was this great big ball. You get into it, and then it swings way high up in the air, and it holds you out over the water and swings around, kind of like a carnival ride. You didn't pay for that. You stand in line a long time. You didn't pay for it. Can't imagine why they're charging you money to ride the roller coaster. You pay thousands of dollars to take the cruise, and part of the attraction is all the stuff you can do on board. I don't know. I don't know why they would charge for it. They were playing the music from the Love Boat there, and way back when, in I guess the 70s it was, the Love Boat and its companion show was called Fantasy Island. Of course, remember Fantasy Island, Biff?
Heard of it, but don't remember.
No, you don't remember? Oh, with Ricardo Montalban was I forget the name of the character he played, but he was the master of the island, and people would come to the island to live out their fantasies. And little Hervé Villachez, the little dwarf, and he when the plane would come, he would always go, the plane, and then it would land, and these groups would get off, and they would all live out their fantasies on Fantasy Island. There's a new Fantasy Island coming out. I have not seen it. Think it's on Fox. It's a younger, more, it's not Ricardo Montalban anymore. It's a woman who's sort of the mistress of the island and performs all these fantasy things for people and so on. I'm kind of looking forward to it. I wouldn't mind seeing a redo of the Love Boat either. It was a classic show of I guess it was the 70s, right? 70s? Yeah, the Love Boat was on in the 70s. It's what really moved cruising into the general public's mind. Once upon a time, cruising, Caribbean cruising and so on, was perceived to be only that of the rich, the elite. And then once they did the Love Boat, it became more okay. It became more of the general public began to say, yeah, maybe I can go on these cruises. And it really was a gigantic boost to the cruise industry. I remember at the time, which, by the way, goes to show how far back I've gone, both on the radio and with Bill Bryson. I remember at the time Bill Bryson and I talking about the impact that the Love Boat had, the TV show, on the cruise industry. Again, it just opened the cruise industry up wide to the general public. Now, I don't know what the percentage is, but now, I won't say most, but many people, including Old Monroe, go on cruises on a regular basis. And again, once upon a time, it was only for the very wealthy, those who could hold their nose in the air and say, I'm better than you are. I can go on a cruise. I'll go on a cruise. Now we all go on cruises with their flip-flops and shorts, drinking beer, contaminating the pool. And before COVID, just eating at the all-you-can-eat buffet, which is what I will miss, I think, if I do another cruise, because I think they've changed those things. All right, team, that's it for now. I got to say sayonara, see you, bye-bye, farewell. I got to go. I got to get out of here. Kirchhoff's got the comm coming up next. Some interesting stuff going to be talked about. Test scores across West Virginia with the state school superintendent. Is the governor going to be putting a mask mandate on? Brad McElhenney will try to interpret what Jim Justice had to say yesterday. And some teachers are going to be on the poppy talking about how they plan to deal with students coming back this year who have missed really a huge amount of learning during the pandemic year. It's all coming up on Statewide Talk Line. As for me, good Lord willing, creeks don't rise, backbone doesn't ring. I don't get impeached, I don't retire, ticker keeps on ticking, and most importantly, Teddy, who has got his Robin suit on again today, and is eating pancakes and goldfish right now, Biff. If Teddy says, okay, you can go back to work tomorrow, Granddad, I shall return tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock, on the go around of the big gig. Are you back with me, Biffy?
I'll be back to wrap up the week.
We're going to keep on doing it till we get it right.
That could be a long time.
Indeed.
Before I stop. Well, but you take my love and let me drop. Call outside as you must know. No, I can't let you go.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
From ABC News.
All right, Biffy. Yeah, we made it through. I'll double check here. I haven't had a chance to check all morning. Moundsville was off at 7 o'clock. I assume the power's still out down there. Let me see. Can I get into the computer? Push that button. Nope, can't get into the computer. So I'm assuming we're still off the air down there. And I hope we're on the air in Wheeling. It's just, God, so frustrating. Oh, hey, I don't know if Kayleen asked you or not. Can you do a favor? Check your EAS log from yesterday and see if we received the national test at 2:20 yesterday. We did not. It didn't show us received. Okay. All right. Okay. I know it didn't rebroadcast it. I was trying to see if we received it, but didn't rebroadcast, or if we didn't receive it. So we didn't receive it then. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So we didn't even receive it then. All right. Well, I needed to know that. That's good. That's bad, but it's good. It's good that I know it. All right. Everything else okay, as far as you know? All right. I got some things to work on, I guess, including transmitters and EAS. Oh God. Okay. And Robin's going to want me to play hide and seek with Robin, I'm sure. So it's going to be a play day. I can tell. So. If you need me, though, give me a call. I should be around. And if not, I'll talk to you in the morning. I have nothing scheduled except for John right now, but I'll probably put something else in. I'm not sure what. We'll get somebody on. All right. Have a good day. As always, I really appreciate your help, and I'll talk to you in the morning. All right. Thanks. Bye.
Children 6 to less than 18. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. There could be more to your story with IBS-C. Talk to a doctor today. Say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS. Sponsored by Abbey and Ironwood Pharmaceuticals.
An hours-long filibuster happening in Texas on the proposed voting rights bill.
GOP state lawmakers say county election officials broke the law when they opened all-night and drive-through voting locations during the pandemic. And while the measure under debate is called election integrity, Democratic State Senator Carol Alvarado insists
there is no evidence of election fraud in Texas.
That was in the 12th hour of a filibuster that even Alvarado knows will only delay but not prevent passage of the measure in the GOP-controlled Texas Senate. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
Fred has been downgraded, but forecasters are still keeping an eye on it. The tropical depression brought high winds and rain to parts of the Caribbean. Now it's headed to the U.S. mainland.
It's now a tropical depression, but will regain strength as it heads towards Florida over the weekend. The track and the intensity, there's a lot of uncertainty here, but all of Florida will be impacted this weekend. It's something we'll have to watch and prepare for very closely.
ABC News senior meteorologist Rob Marciano. A man in New Hampshire pleading guilty to disorderly conduct after throwing a gender reveal party that was heard by people in the next state. The gender reveal in Kingston, New Hampshire, close to the Massachusetts state line. Back in April, police got calls from people hearing a loud explosion in the area. The family said they held the party in a quarry because they thought it would be the safest spot to detonate the explosives. No word on if it was a boy or a girl. This is ABC News.
The pandemic's reminded us we live in a sea of airborne germs that can assault